Hello, beautiful people. How are all of you doing today? Chat. I have bad news for you. Chat. It's Thursday, but there's no Dandaran episode. That being said, I also have good news for you. Chat. You want to know what I got for Christmas yesterday?
길을 모르겠으면 현지 가이드를 데리고 가는 게 좋을 거야.
But wait, but
것도 재능이려나?
I forgot about that. I forgot I did that yesterday, huh? Dude, what the fuck? Holy the voices! Jesus Christ. But yeah. My mom got me this. Holy fuck. Insane poggers crazy. Holy. I have a mouse pad. Holy shit. Holy shit! She watches the stream, yeah, she does sometimes. It's a Christmas miracle, it sure is. It sure is. Oh! 3 minutes before we're capped. Insane. Do you know what's her username? I don't think she has an account. I'm pretty sure she just watches, like, without logging in.
모든 높은 자를 내려볼지어다.
I also got a mousepad pog. Do you guys think we're gonna get a poggers upgrade today? I don't think so. I think this is actually gonna be a 3-liner EM with double crit. No. But yeah, dude. Okay, I'm actually realizing how few things I feel like I need. Like now that I have maybe next year headphones. Oh, I'm satisfied with my headphones. My headphones are good quality headphones. I'm very happy with them. Sometimes it can get a little annoying because like the wire is a little like it's very they're very old, so the wire like sometimes gets a little finicky. Keyboard is next. Yeah, but like, okay, here's the thing. Once I get a new keyboard, I don't need a new mouse. My mouse is kind of, I don't know. I realized something. I don't like the sort of mice that people have. Like, I've been using the same mouse for like 10 years. And I don't want to change it. It's the perfect shape. Anyways, once I get a new keyboard and a treadmill, I will have literally nothing I want to get anymore. I don't want to add White Joel. Like, Like, what am I gonna do then? Well, what is there gonna be to look forward to in the morning? What's the point of living, dude? Like, fuck. How about a real mousepad? I just said I got a new mousepad for Christmas, idiot! I showed you the mousepad! Probably just joined. Well, caught! Imagine being late for stream. Fucking loser. Yikes. New mousepad and not even saying it in the title? Do you think I should put it in the title? Do you think that's gonna attract people to the stream? New mousepad arc? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Show the old one? No, the old one is in the garbage. It's already gone. Oh. Wait, that could be good for Cheska. Perhaps. Wasn't it just a notebook? Yeah, it was just a notebook, but it was so, like, old. Like, I've been using it for so long that, like, the friction of the mouse over the years had, like, eaten away at the pages, and there were, like, holes in the first few pages. Cooked, yeah. Bro acting like he's not a millionaire. Surely I am a millionaire. Also, where is Nick Moew Early Access? I don't think Nick would ever actually properly post a video of Early Access because he's just too lazy and procrastinating. And like that's a vibe, right? Like I'm not saying that because I think I'm better than him. I'm exactly the same. But like, yeah. No, it's Hoyo. Hoyo decides you can post the access? Yeah, but... Are you telling me that they said he couldn't? Is that what you're telling me? Why couldn't this be EM? Wouldn't such a nice substat distribution? Oh well. Luna said they prevented him from posting. Okay. He actually DM'd me about that. I didn't want to like, I didn't know if he wanted to talk about it like publicly, so I didn't bring it up. But if he's already brought it up, then I can yap about that too. That is like actually so fucked. Made a public post. Let me take a look. Community. Okay, he didn't. Yeah. Damn. That is actually fucking crazy, dude. So. Ugh.
전 제1의 가치는 폰타인 대중들이 한 일의 의미를 잘 압니다. 앞으로도 전 제1의 자부심을 갖고 살아갈 겁니다.
New haircut? No. It's just that I usually put my headphones on as soon as I get out of the shower. Which makes my hair look different. This is what my hair is supposed to look like.
폰타인의 자랑이자 매우 아름다운 생물입니다. 부디 그들을 해치지 말고 친하게 지내주세요.
Hope you had a good meal. Bro, I feel like I lost a month of progress. Holy fuck, dude. Like, straight up a whole ass month of progress, man. Holy shit. I ate so much in the past 2 days. Classic Christmas. Bro, okay, you don't get it though, okay? Like, you don't understand, okay? My uncle does like he smokes meats. And my cousin as well. And they're so good. Like, they're so fucking good. And it's like on a fucking charcuterie board or some shit before the actual meal. And I just can't help myself, dude. Like, it's way too good. I think I stuck to relatively reasonable portions outside of the fucking charcuterie boards. But, like, yeah. Yeah. That I could not stay away from. Lost to charcuterie, yeah. I know, man. Bro, and the cheeses were so good, too. And, like, they prepared, like, little pieces of, like, baguette with a slice of smoked meat. And then on top of that, like, an olive with an almond in the middle. And I don't know why, but, like, that's the best thing I've ever had in my life, dude. Like, why is it so good? Dude, like, it's actually crazy. Completely wild. French lunchly true!
별과 심연을 오늘의 의뢰를 별과 심연
We were missing the mold. True. Alright, chat. Are you guys ready for the best part of the stream? The moment you've all been waiting for? The pog to your champ? Stare! Pound! Zilch! My oh my. Wow, this is ass. Hmm. I might try to go for letters again, honestly. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know why, but this one is like, this start is not it. Fucking hell, dude. I mean, okay. It can't be fairy because there's no R, but maybe this gives me hints on the positions of the letters. Okay. Perhaps. Let's go! Let's fucking go! That was a hard one. Holy fuck. Breathable shorts fabric. World's second largest metropolis by population after Tokyo. I don't know. It's probably in India. It doesn't get any better than this. With 8 across Hanukkah duration. Is it not 12? Am I an idiot? Wait, no, I am an idiot. I thought it was 12. Well, this is definitely days. TV, radio. Oh, this is media. Elegy. Elege! Elege! Hi, thank you for the raid, Comemos! Welcome, raiders! We're currently doing the mini. We just got the Wordle in 5. It was a hard Wordle, but we got it. Gripped part of a sword. It's not handle. It's not pommel. It can't be just grip, right? Hilt. It could be hilt. Like Gommel's hilt in old school RuneScape. Died. Okay, this is clearly 8. Ideal. Jelly. Mesh. What the fuck is a Chaws? How's your stream, Komos? Did you do anything interesting? Anything cool? Anything PogChamp? Chaws! Sorry. That was my Nevilet impression. We did Abyss, I see. Tidy, Allah, handsome, elder, spruce, like, pine, miss, healthy, roughly, arc, palm, about, respectable, or around. I hate this Abyss. Yeah, me too. Okay. Allah, like, elder, spruce, pine, palm. Is spruce a tree? It's a tree, right? I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff like this where, like, I've heard people say spruce, I think in the context of trees before, but I don't know what tree it is. Like, I know the trees in French, but I don't know them in English. So I don't know which tree a spruce is. If it is a tree at all, which I'm not sure about. Anyways. But none of the others are trees, are they? Surely elder tree isn't a real thing, right? 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 It's a real thing? Oh my, dude, that's fucking wild. I actually need to know what an elder tree is. Elder tree. In French. Un sureau. Oh! Why do they call it an elder tree? Well, whatever. About, around, roughly, like? Okay. 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 Okay! Respectable, handsome, tidy, healthy. I thought it was compliments for a male significant other. But I guess sizable as an amount also works as a connection for this. Okay, wait, what the fuck could the link be between these? I have no clue. US state abbreviations per AP style guide. What the? This is what? Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, and Oregon? Oregon? Or Oregano? I don't know how you pronounce this state, honestly. So obviously this is bullshit as usual. Any fucking American-centric bullshit is always cringe. However, the other three were really, really easy, so this connections was fine. Alright, let's do the Genshin duel. Kaya! Nahida! Chat, you know, one day, maybe I should stop starting with Kaya, because Kaya's not a good opening guess. 1.0 characters are just not a good opening guess as a whole. There's no reason to ever start with a 1.0 character. Milani, you should also not start with a new character. You should start with a Sumeru character. Or a 2.1 character. Who's 2.1? Because, like, if it's a 1.0 character, you will know if you start with a 2.1 character. Raiden, Sarah? So Raiden's probably a great opening guess, then. Kokomi? Kokomi's also a great opening guess. Because it'll be 2 down arrows if it's a 1.0 character. Anyways. So this is a relatively recent catalyst. Let's try Milani. Nice. Most people hunker down against a strong headwind. Only a few people know how to utilize it to their advantage. Kazuha? No. Beto? No. I've seen this name before. Fuck. I've seen this name before. I've seen this. I don't know, though. I'm gonna... Okay, it's definitely not MD, but whatever. Is it Ayato? It could be. It is. Okay, nice. I wanted to guess at random, but then, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Daily ability. Isn't that Alhaitham? Nice. Nice. Bald! It wasn't bald. It's a destruction character released before Bold. Try Clara. The Dorillo destruction character released in 1.0. What the fuck is this? Is it Arlen? No, because that's not Dorillo. Hook? Is that the material for Hook? Maybe. Perhaps. No, Hook. Okay, nice. Quote, there is unfinished business between me and the maker of this weapon. The maker of this weapon. Is that Bald? No. Who has like a specific weapon? Who the fuck has a specific weapon? The Sam suit? Maybe? Nicholas... I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know who that is, so it's probably a recent-ish character. Unless I'm an idiot. I could just be an idiot. I don't know the VAs for Sorrel as well. Who Hill has a weapon? Jingyon has a weapon?
There's unfinished business between me and the maker of this weapon.
Chat? I think I recognize that voice. But there's a problem. Okay, for the life of me, I can't think of any weapon that Imbibitor has other than his fucking 2 fingers up the enemy's ass. Like he does like ugh. Whereas this guy has a polearm. So it has to be him, right? No! Fuck. Oh 07 streak. Yeah. Alright, man. Whatever. We'll take it. What a way to end it. What is that? That's a flower. People flower. Who would have flowers? Acheron's flowers don't look pretty. So it can't be her. Her flowers look like scary. Maybe it's still Acheron. Okay, it is. Okay, never mind. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Alright. Ben. It wasn't Ben. Ellen. It was Ellen. Nice. Very nice. Moew teaser. Oh yeah, there is that to watch today. I forgot.
전 제1의 가치와 폰타인 대중들이 한 일의 의미를 잘 압니다. 앞으로도 전 제1의 자부심을 갖고 살아갈 겁니다.
Hine's the only one who doesn't know. You should tell her yourself.
A house needs a sturdy foundation to withstand the elements.
We're almost ready to eat, you two. I made your favorite stew for dinner.
Yay!
I'm in love with this music. This is the best. We're 30 seconds in. This is the best piece of music Hoyo has ever released. Let me fucking wait. We gotta start that. I'm closing my eyes.
Hine's the only one who doesn't know. You should tell her yourself.
A house needs a sturdy foundation to withstand the elements.
We're almost ready to eat, you two. I made your favorite stew for dinner.
Yay! It's almost dinner time. Let's call it a day.
Look, Malika!
You were supposed to be listening to me.
Don't be mad, sis. It's a bookmark. To save our place. Till next time. Huh?
Come on, let's go eat. I have something to tell you.
You're gonna head 500 years in the future? You're just gonna die? I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long.
Capitano!
But of course there'll be a way for us to meet again one day.
I couldn't find anything about Hine. I'm sorry. I'm sure she lived a happy life, if uneventful in the end.
It's so good. It's so good.
This book belonged to someone who helped my family a super long time ago. We kept it safe for you. There's a bunch of old designs inside. Don't know what they're for.
Thank you. This means a lot to me. Why don't I walk you home? I'd like to thank your family, too. By the way, do you like stew?
It's my favorite.
Man. That was fucking peak. I wasn't really paying too much attention to what was going on other than the music. Let's rewatch it, but pay attention this time.
Hine's the only one who doesn't know. You should tell her yourself.
A house needs a sturdy foundation to withstand the elements.
We're almost ready to eat, you two. I made your favorite stew for dinner.
Yay!
It's almost dinner time. Let's call it a day.
Look, Moeka.
You were supposed to be listening to me.
Don't be mad, sis. It's a bookmark. To save our place. Till next time.
Okay, first thing I want to bring up, here, I am not a huge fan of the choices here. Like, okay, so obviously, towards the end, like, I wasn't paying too much attention, but I did notice a few things, right? Towards the end here, you've got, you see the fucking frog bookmark in here, right? I think it would have been better if at the start, we didn't, like, see the frog, right? We just saw it from this angle.
It's almost dinner time.
And then they just, like, it's almost dinner time, it's called it a day, and they just left, right? I think they made it too on the nose a little bit, which kind of takes away from how impactful a scene like this can be in my eyes.
Let's call it a day.
Look, Moeka.
You were supposed to be listening to me.
Don't be mad, sis. It's a bookmark.
Stuff has a problem with everything. I mean, this is like Genshin writing stuff. Right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna have problems with Genshin writing often because Genshin writing is Genshin writing. They mix in fucking pseudo-intellectual jargon bullshit that makes you die of cringe, along with blatant, boring exposition to try to make even the 6-year-olds that are playing on their mom's iPad understand what's going on. And this specific scene appeals to the 6-year-olds playing on their mom's iPad, which is what I don't like about it.
Save our place. Till next time. Huh?
Come on, let's go eat. I have something to tell you.
You're gonna head 500 years in the future?
A lot of kids play this game, yeah. But, I mean, okay. I think there are multiple ways of making things... Okay, no. Rather... Kids are smarter than people who produce media for kids give them credit for. And more importantly, even media where the target audience is kids shouldn't be... Okay, unless you're exclusively making a kids show like fucking Dora the Explorer, there's no reason for you to make sure that every single detail can be picked up on by kids, right? Like that's kind of patronizing. Yeah, exactly.
You're just gonna die? I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of some way for us to meet again one day.
I couldn't find anything about Hine. I'm sorry. I'm sure she lived a happy life, if uneventful in the end.
Okay, unironically though, do you guys think Hine put her soul in the bike? Do you guys think that's the twist? Like, I know the Capitano thing is funny, so like I'm gonna stick with it, but like, I wonder what the actual thing is. No, Shilonen made the bike, I see. Damn.
This book belonged to someone who helped my family a super long time ago. We kept it safe for you. There's a bunch of old designs inside. Don't know what they're for.
Let's try to see if any of the designs are like recognizable. Chains. Isn't that like the base for the balloon thingies? It's kind of cool.
There's a bunch of old designs inside. Don't know what they're for.
Thank you. This means a lot to me. Why don't I walk you home? I'd like to thank your family, too. By the way, do you like stew?
It's my favorite.
Why did she get so surprised by the question, do you like stew? Like, that's kind of... Why is she stammering for 10 seconds after being able to hold a conversation for like 30? Like, what, was the stew question something she wasn't ready for? Holy fuck, man. She's an Archon. Then why isn't she intimidated, like,
Don't know what they're for.
for this part? I don't know, but weird question. Yeah, bro.
Why don't I walk you home? I'd like to thank your family, too. By the way, do you like stew?
Also, what is that line supposed to mean? Like what is that supposed to show? Like, I'm actually not entirely sure I get why this line is here. Is it supposed to like humanize her? He likes stew too. Yeah, but like, so it's supposed to like say that she sees her sister in that girl. Is it like that's it? But like, They just showed her hallucinating the girl as Hine. You're missing the sim. No, it's just that stuff like that to me is made so much less meaningful when it's just reiterating something that's already been conveyed, you know? Like to me it's like I get it already, man. Like fuck, Jesus. Bro got unlocked by one line. I mean, listen, okay? I think that character teasers like this should be held to a higher standard than Archon quests. And stuff like that. Like, this is a 2-minute 47 promotional material that they have put a lot of thought into. Or at least they should have. Like, this is the main promotional material for this character. It better be good. If there's things that are, like, not ideal with it, no matter how nitpicky, I think they should be pointed out. Because, like, the standard for teasers should be higher, in my opinion. Like, it's fine if you don't give a shit if these things are good. And it's also fine if these things don't bother you. I just think the idea that I shouldn't be critical of these things because it's like, I don't know, Hoyo isn't Disney. Like, dude. You're such a boring person, man. Like straight up, you are so boring. You can be critical, but it won't matter? Why won't it matter? Do you think I'm being critical of these things because I am trying to teach Hoyo how to do animation and advertisement? No, it's because talking about it is interesting and it gives me good stream content. And the purpose I'm aiming for with my comments is being achieved. This is a fun conversation. As long as you shut the fuck up and stop trying to tell me to move on. Over. I like that. That's good. I like that. Anyways, musically, this is one of, if not the best teaser they've ever put out. Thematically, I also think it's really, really good. I think the execution leaves a little bit to be desired, because it feels a bit too patronizing. But all in all, this is a much... I would say this is definitely among the better character teasers we've had. For sure. Should watch the Miyabi content to compare it. I watched the Miyabi. Was it the demo or the teaser? I don't know. And what was it that I said about the music? I forgot. Definitely better than Citlali simping? Yeah, for sure. Like, the Citlali thing, it's like... It wasn't ruined by the execution. It was ruined by the idea. Right? Like in my eyes, the ideas for this are great. And it just kind of fell a bit short because the ways they're conveying these ideas are a bit too patronizing. In the Citlali teaser, it just wasn't it, man. Like they had good ideas and they portrayed them well, but they also had bad ideas which they portrayed like shit, you know? What does patronizing mean? It's basically when you're talking down to someone, like... If someone is asking, like, you invite someone over to your house, mansplaining is a form of patronizing, yeah. But like, you invite someone over to your house, you serve them dinner, alright, and you made, like, I don't know, fucking beef Wellington, okay? And they ask you, wow, this is so good, what is this? Like, and you start explaining to them what a cow is. Like, that would be an example of being patron. I feel like that's what's happening here. Like, they're too blatant and obvious with the things they're doing in a way where it feels like they're assuming I'm a fucking idiot and making it so obvious that even an idiot like me could notice. And stuff like that tends to make symbolism feel a lot less impactful. Because it doesn't feel like it's symbolism anymore, it's just fucking what they're telling you. And it kind of sucks. To be honest, I like Citlali's trailer. Yeah, like, if it wasn't for the last 10 seconds, Citlali's trailer would be great. I also liked it up until the last 10 seconds. And unironically, if it wasn't for Hoyo's constant traveler simping from the characters, the trailer, without literally any changes in a different context, could have been good as well, right? Like Citlali being able to find a connection with someone who isn't just gonna fucking die in a couple decades like everyone else could be an interesting theme for her. It's just every fucking character in this game sims for Traveler, so it got old, man. Like, at that point, I just stop. I'm tired of it. For this one, it fits, but I don't give a shit because it didn't fit for so many people beforehand that now I just want them to do literally anything else. Anything else! Anything else! Anyways. What are your thoughts on the Moeka animated shorts, the 10 minutes when we got busy comparing Parada versus Moeka suffering, so you forgot to say your thoughts about it? Honestly, I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was amazing. Like, no, you know what? I did like it. No, I liked it. It was Pog. It was I don't know. I didn't like the start too much, but I did like it didn't feel as patronizing. Let's just put it that way. I liked the conversation between Moeka and Hine in that short quite a bit. But I didn't really care too much about the like initial battle. Personally, I don't think it was necessary to show it. I get it. Battle scenes are hype and shit, and it's the sort of stuff that sells well. But I tend to be a lot more interested in the characters' relationships and motivations than their fighting abilities. And so I didn't really care much for it, because I didn't feel like it expanded very much on the characters' relationships and motivations. There was a little bit of it, but very little. But it is what it is. I appreciate that it proves to people that Moeka isn't a Mary Sue because she just happens to be more normal than the other Archons. What do you mean by that? Notland Heroes tier list when? Number 1, that guy that was napping. That guy from Chaska's tribe that was napping. That's my number 1. That's my goat. I don't remember what his name is, but that's my goat. Menelek? Got it. Moeka is a Mary Sue in this story. Bro, the concept of a Mary Sue is so dumb, dude. Oh no, this character is competent, and their competence isn't entirely explained in the story. How dare they make a competent character? Like, I understand if the point you're making is this character gets out of sticky situations through plot armor as a Mary Sue, and that makes the story worse. But, like, is that what happens to Moeka? No. So, like, who cares? Like, what sort of what event did Moeka manage to overcome because of God-given plot armor bullshit? The Abyss invasion 500 years ago? I mean, bitch had to leave her whole ass fucking family behind. They're long dead. That's a big ass sacrifice. It's not like she came out of it unharmed. Like, I don't really know about that. The events now? Well, she seems like she's gonna fucking kill herself for the cause, so I don't know about that one either. So, like, calling Moeka a Mary Sue to me is, like, fucking stupid. And we talk about how Hoyo chose the most generic background and personality for Capitano while he had so much potential. I stand by Capitano being Hine, okay? I stand by. I will die on this hill. I don't care, even if they outright like reveal Capitano's face. I don't care, okay? That's just Hine using a fucking transformation magic thingy. He's from Conria? He's lying! He infiltrated Conria as a way to find the recipe for eternal life so that she, I guess, could see her sister again. She's using Snapchat filters. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, maybe Hine isn't disguising herself as Capitano. Maybe he just transitioned. True. So I'm not sure what pronouns I should use. Genshin woke. Real. Red hair and pronouns. True! Holy fuck. Oh. Genshin is progressive though, while Hytham and Kavi are a couple. Oh boy, are we really getting into this discussion? Oh, thank you for the 3 years. Okay. You want to know my honest and properly elaborated and nuanced take on Alcave? Kahytham? Kavathum? I'll cover hum on the gays. It's okay. There's a very thin line between queerbaiting to appeal to a larger audience and an attempt at representation under Chinese censorship. And unless you're a fucking mind reader, it's pretty much impossible to know which one of the two is really happening. Because Hoyo is a fucking gacha company, I'm very pessimistic whenever it comes to things where they could be given the benefit of the doubt. So my thoughts on it is that it's probably a lot more leaning into queerbaiting than attempts at representation. But I think it's completely reasonable to disagree with that. Right? Because at the end of the day, there are two facts that coexist here. One, proper queer representation in Chinese games is gonna be real fucking hard to do. And 2, queer baiting is really profitable. And as long as those 2 things remain true, you'll never really be able to tell which one's actually happening. So it's just a matter of how much benefit of the doubt you want to give them. I think there's too much intentionality for it to be pure bait. I mean, do you think that queer baiting is by nature unintentional? Queer baiting is by nature very intentional. Like, I don't think that is a particularly strong argument either way. Like, unintentional queer baiting isn't queer baiting. Like, by definition, it has to be intentional. Otherwise, it's not queer baiting, it's just something being somewhat queer-coded. Because, like, at the end of the day, the main difference between queerbaiting and representation, because at the end of the day, we're not actually talking about the quality of representation here, we're just talking about, like, intention here, is, well, what they want to do. And you can't know what they want to do unless you can read their mind. But yeah, anyways. At the end of the day, it is a complex situation, you know? Like, it's not as simple as they're queerbaiting or they're not queerbaiting. Do you like any ships in Genshin? I don't really give a shit about ships. I just really don't give a shit. In No Media or just Genshin? In general. I'm not a ship understander. Like I understand it conceptually, but I don't care, I guess. Like I'm just sitting there like, cool. Have fun. No wonder you didn't like Fruits Basket. Okay. I don't know how to put this, but like, I think that anyone who considers grooming and pedophilia to be bad would feel uncomfortable watching Fruits Basket. It has nothing to do with shipping. Okay? It's not... It's a weird fucking show, dude. Or, like, it's fucking weird, man. Like... Anyways. Like, yeah. Well, like personally, I'm a little taken aback that you would reduce my reasons for disliking it to me not liking shipping. Like, what do you mean? I haven't watched it. I thought it was a high school romance with furry transformation. Yeah, kind of. Though surprisingly, it's not very, like, furry. Like, I feel like the show is very careful to like stay away from a lot of furry stuff. Yeah, like the furry transformation are like barely relevant. Furry in a werewolf romance at most. Yeah, pretty much. That's not the part that makes it weird, man. The part that makes it weird is the fucking grooming and incest, okay? Like, those are the part that makes it, the parts that make it weird. Anyways. At least the main couple isn't? Yeah, at least. I guess. He has gotten so good at the rate. What are you talking about? Just because you don't want it to be true, like that doesn't change the reality. Which ship was incest? It's not a ship, it's a canonical fucking romance. Alright? Like I said, it has nothing to do with shipping. It's because the actual fucking canon story is weird as shit, dude. That's why I don't like it. And like, I'm not saying depictions of bad things make a show bad, but like, they're not approached as bad things. It's presented as a fucking happy ending when the groomer gets together with the fucking person they groomed. And when the siblings start dating. Like, dude, that's weird. That's fucking weird, man. It's weird as shit. It's so fucking weird. I guess the spoilers for season 3 of Fruits Basket. My bad. I'm surprised you got that far. I'm a dedicated hater. Like, it took me like a day to watch all 3 seasons, so I didn't really, like... If it was like 7 seasons, I wouldn't have watched all of them. But 3 I can do. I can watch 3 seasons of garbage. Two of my current favorite shoujo mangas are getting animated soon. Oh, what are they? Are you currently watching something new? I'm not watching anything right now, but I'm reading stuff, but it's kind of garbage. I kind of ran out of shoujo stuff to read, so now I'm back to reading isekai, but like, after reading so much shoujo, isekai is so boring. Like, I gotta be honest, alright? Like, garbage isekai is so much worse than garbage shoujo. Good isekai can be just as good, if not better, than good shoujo, but bad isekai is so much worse than bad shoujo. It's so much fucking worse, dude. Do you have any idea why most shoujo have androgynous boys? I mean, I wouldn't say most shoujo. A good amount of shoujo have at least one of the love interests as an androgynous boy, sure. But it's not like they're all like that. What's that? Diversity in character tropes? What? Not every character is either a fucking tsundere or one of the other 2 default archetypes? What? Curious on your thoughts on Spice and Wolf. I watched like the first half of the first episode and I got bored, so I dropped it. Maybe I'll get around to it again. We'll see. Bad isekai is a vicious pleonasm to me. Okay, there is good isekai. Okay, good isekai exists. Alright? It does. I promise. Probably. Not sure, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but that's fine. Okay, you know what? Tsukimichi's actually not that bad. It's not great either. Like, it's got its issues for sure. I feel like MC simping is just something I'm just so fucking sick and tired of. And Tsukimichi does have that, but like if you manage to get past it, it's kind of fine. ReZero is actually good. That's also true. That's true. That's a good point. Slime is good too. Okay, Slime is not actually particularly good. I'm sorry. Like, I think Slime is a good example of isekai trash that is not unpleasant to watch. My favorite isekai are mostly shoujo isekai. I don't think there's a single shoujo isekai that's like as good as ReZero. But I do agree that the like baseline default shoujo isekai tends to be better than the non-shoujo isekai. Although, Fantasy Knockout is also a fucking omega banger. It's an omega banger. Like, I am begging all of you to watch Fantasy Knockout. It's so good. It's actually so fucking good. Season 2 when? I know, man. I know. I know. You like historical isekai? Yeah, I do. Kinda. But yeah, you guys need to watch Fantasy Knockout. It's like, it's probably the best comedy isekai. And like both of the main characters are so fucking, they're so funny, man. Not better than Konosuba. Oh, it's much better than Konosuba. Did you read SSS Class Suicide Hunter? I read a little bit of it. I kind of got bored. Are we still allowed to send you manhwa? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to ask. You can just send them. If I don't care about the Rex, I just won't read them. It's not like you need permission to send me a DM. Konosuba gets repetitive with the jokes. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with Konosuba. Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, whereas Fantasy Knockout is just so fucking funny all the way through. But yeah, for those of you who don't know Fantasy Knockout, the full title is Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated as a Total Fantasy Knockout. And it's about two really good middle-aged guys, or two really good friends who are middle-aged guys who get sent to another world. And one of them gets turned into a girl. And they're told that their mission is to kill the Demon King. But they don't really wanna, like, they don't really give a shit. You know, they've got full-time jobs, like, they don't have time for that shit. And so in order to motivate them, the goddess that brought them to the world curses them to fall in love with each other. And the only way to break the curse is to kill the Demon King. And so they have to kill the Demon King before falling too deeply in love with one another. And yeah, it's yeah. It's a great premise, and it's really fun to watch. It's a hilarious concept. Yeah, it is. It certainly is. I wouldn't say it's the best comedy anime, but it's definitely up there. And it's definitely the best comedy isekai. That's for sure. What's top one? Psyche K. What is that? Psyche K. Well, it's the disastrous life of Psyche K. Psyche K pilled, yeah. It's about a guy who's a psychic, and dude, I feel like you can't really give a synopsis of Psyche K without a synopsis doesn't do it justice, you know. But it has my favorite anime character of all time in it, Nendo, my goat. He's one of my emotes. The Zajef Giga Chat emote is Nendo. Although, Moew's kind of gunning for Nendo, in my favorite character position. Depending on how season 2 goes, maybe Nendo will be dethroned. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways. Watch Grand Blue one day. Probably. Probably one day. But yeah, it clears Psyche? You get cleared by my dick and balls. Sorry, that was weird. I didn't know what to say. I kind of just whatever. It's fine. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Meta roundup now? Yeah, I think it's time. I'm gonna go to the bathroom first, though. I'll be right back. I have returned! Alright. Before we record, though, let's do one more Abyss run. Refresh our memory on the bullshit that goes on in here. And I guess, technically, get some background footage for a few things I want to showcase as well. I think I mainly want to showcase how fucking broken Fischl is, this Abyss, dude. Holy. to do with you. Wait, is that the right goblet? Same one goblet. Okay. Nice. Maybe we just do use this instead. Just chill. What do I do second side? I guess it doesn't really matter, but like... Kanich? We could do Kanich. I guess. Sure. Okay. It's been a while since I played him. This is not actually a very good piece, huh? Do I have anything that's actually good that isn't on someone else? Yeah, that'll work. Is she on Deepwood? Yeah, she is. Nice. Wait, is she on the right weapon then? No, she is not. Hey, yeah, I'm glad I checked. What do I do for the last slot? Does it even really matter? Not really. Yeah, I'll just use Shining. No, I'll use Daya. No. I don't need a bow user against the Drake, because Kanich can just hit it without needing a bow user. I guess I'll just do this. That'll be fine. But does Daya have a 5-star, 4-star feather? I don't know. Who cares?
병은 빨리 치료해야 해.
그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리. 그림자 사냥. 악을 쏜다.
약의 사말은 독이랍니다.
This is a very annoying start, because these enemies are just omega cringe for something like this. Plus, they never fucking group, man.
자백할 시간이다.
So fucking annoying.
몸에 좋은 약은 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리. 장전.
This is like so fucking slow, Jesus Christ.
몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 거죠. 병은 빨리 치료해야 해.
악을 쏜다. 준비.
약의 사말은 독이라고. 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
그림자 속에서
I don't know if my Kanich is strong enough to do that. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. This is too shit.
자백할
Way too fucking dog shit. Man. Visual is the problem, Klugi. Real. I still want to check how far we are.
향기의 속삭임.
Oh my god, I got fucking... Yeah, no. This won't happen. Okay. Taking over a minute for the first wave is just too rough, man. Dude, these enemies make they make me sad. Is Chlorine that bad? Chlorine isn't bad, but quicken teams against enemies that you can't quicken are fucking dog shit. So we'll do a different team. Makes me sad though. Yeah, we can do shoulders, I guess. Wage business. I'll try to group them, I guess.
이건 필요한 무력이다. 그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리. 준비.
Wait, where the fuck is my E? Oh my god. I took my fingers off my keyboard, so I lost my E key. Oh.
무기를 버려. 문지야, 불을 뽑아라. 한재의 이름.
악을 쏜다. 그림자 사냥.
함께 춤춰볼까? 체르겐 날개. 움직이지 마. 이것이 구라마디의 꽃처럼 순순히 항복해라.
자백할 시간이다.
상대의 찬수를 감상하라고.
I know you're about to expire, just do it already. Thank you.
준비.
최후 통첩이. 문지야, 불을 뽑아라.
그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리.
이건 필요한 무력.
그림자 사냥.
움직이지 마. 뜨끈뜨끈할. 자, 나와라. 말이 안 통하면 해버려.
자백할 시간이다.
That was better. I hope this is enough.
청소 시작.
It should be, right? Oh no. That was dog shit! Holy fuck.
빛이야, 내게.
How is it not dead?
조합.
this isn't enough. Holy fuck, man. Ah! I hate Kanich. He's ass. Whatever. I'll just play something else. I shouldn't have listened when Chad told me to play Kanich. I use Chlorite. Chlorite isn't the problem. First half is supposed to be longer than second half. Not being able to 2-rotate the Primovish app is, like, awful. It is what it is. It's first team's problem? No, it's not. Like, I'm not gonna say that the Chlorite team was great, but it's definitely the second team that's underperforming more. Whatever, man. Actually, carburant fric. Important, y'a pas grand place pour les perdants. Du jour, la nuit. Whatever, man. What? Oh my god, one of them didn't fucking do the thing. Okay, never mind, he did it now.
그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리라. 준비.
Oops. That was pretty bad, but it's okay. Oh no, where did he... Wait, what? Oh, he died.
악을 쏜다. 크게 춤춰볼 영원한 오아시스를 위하여 순순히 항복해라. 이건 시작에 불과하다고 늙고마라. 떨어뜨려. 아니. 자백할 시간이다. 장전.
Oh, my Xiangling is almost dead.
그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으리라.
아미아의
준비.
내 구름을 문제야. 이건 필요한 무력이다. 탄재의
Ah, whatever. I'm just gonna do this. Annoying, but it is what it is.
도망칠 수 없다. 고화 신비 열어. 빗줄기 얽혀들어라. 고용 간파.
이따가 조금 아플 거야. 우리 집에 놀러.
즉시 성급. 어떤 수가 나오려나? 헐! 잡았다.
Oh wait, that's actually so good. Gotta let myself get hit. And I can go pick this up.
기억했어.
고화 신비. 마음을
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
따고 울지. 도망칠 수
I'm not gonna get it. My shield's gonna expire. Oh no, it didn't. Nice. I mean, I would have 3-starred even if I didn't get it, but it's fine.
회수.
이따가 조금 아플 거야.
Oh well. Okay, business. Why did it take so long to do the breath attack? I guess I was behind him still. I didn't think I was. Alright. I just wanted the iframes. I shouldn't have used the burst.
준비. 거만하게 굴지. 그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으라.
And this is so fucking annoying.
장전. 자백할 시간이다. 이건 필요한 무력이다. 아군 쏜다. 준비.
Is 1 minute gonna be enough for this? Probably, right? Yeah, definitely. As long as I don't die.
아프다고 울지. 고용 간파. 알아보겠느냐? 빗줄기.
Alright. Alright, alright. We're vibing. This is gonna be cringe. All of the chambers are gonna be cringe, but it's okay. Fischl is carrying me. Is that C Nahida? No. That's C0. Come on, give me the fountain thing.
날 체포하겠다.
Oh.
무기를 버려. 그림자 속에서 악을 꿰뚫으니 그림자 사냥. 움직이지 마.
Not having burst for Fischl is gonna be really bad for this. Okay.
장전.
What? Ah! I got fucking stuck on the hitbox of the dead thing. Ain't no way.
순순히 항복해라. 그림자 사냥. 무기를 받. 아군 쏜다.
Bro, where the fuck is... Oh my god. I hate playing against this boss so much, man. Ah. It's okay. We'll get carried by the Hyperbloom side again.
알아보겠느냐? 얽혀들어라. 조급해 할 거다.
Thank you, Hyperbloom. My beloved. What's the weapon on his Nahida? Fav. Classic Hyperbloom, yeah. Classic Hyperbloom indeed. Chat, imagine if I actually had my Hyperbloom characters properly built for Hyperbloom. If I didn't just fucking keep my Singso and Sack Sword all the time. And actually build damage on my Singso and my Yelan. Imagine. Oh well. Hi, Lud. What's stopping you? I'm lazy and I don't like gearing. TTDS Navidad, true. My bad. Put this back. I'll be right back. I'm back! Alright, let me pull something up real quick. Alright. Chat. It is time. Make sure you say hi to YouTube.
제1의 가치와 폰타인 대중들이 한 일의 의미를 잘합니다. 앞으로도 전
We're in batch 5.2, right? I think. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. Hi to the patch 5.2 slash, I guess, beginning of 5.3 meta roundup. This abyss is certainly something. Oh my. Boy, is this abyss an abyss of all time. As you may be able to tell from my tone, I do not like this abyss. I think it is quite cringe and unenjoyable. But why? Why is it that I find it cringe and unenjoyable? Well, let's get into that while explaining what we are up against in this abyss. So, first chamber, and probably the worst one of them, is 3 waves on the first half, followed by 2 waves on the second half. First, you are against 2 fluid avatars of lava. These guys have, let me actually pull up their stats. Fluid avatar of lava. Right. These guys have 70% pyro resistance, and they have an innate pyro aura. What that means is that your pyro damage will suck, but also you won't be able to swirl anything other than pyro. So, yeah, that's not great. Next, you have the easy wave, where you have 2 Eremites, one Scorching Lore Master and one Floral Ring Dancer. They take a solid, like, 10 seconds to spawn their, like, beast, which can be kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And then finally, on the 3rd wave, you have 2 Consecrated Beasts, the Red Vulture and the Horned Crocodile. Once you've got that done, you go on to the second half, where you have a wave of 2 Geovishaps into a Primo Geovishap. Just in terms of damage needed, this is one of the harshest DPS checks we've had in Abyss. But then on top of that, both sides have a lot of HP, so you can't just put a really good team on one side and have a somewhat weaker team on the other. And it's multi-wave stuff, so there's a lot of characters that get kind of fucked by that. If they're characters that can't really swap in and out very easily. If you don't have exactly the right amount of damage to kill a wave, you're going to end up wasting a bunch of damage. And the specific enemies are really annoying. Now, when I say that this is arguably the hardest one, I'm not actually saying that this is the only one you could struggle with. Because, well, this is the harshest one in terms of DPS check. The other 2 chambers have other issues. So, Chamber 2. First off, you have the Gold Flame Cucosaur Tyrant. Unlike the Overworld version, this one always starts by shielding up as its first attack. And you cannot deal damage to it until you break the shield. And unlike almost every other shielded enemy, it spends a lot of its time while shielded just up in the air where you can't hit him. So that's fun. And then next, you have, on the other chamber, the Tenebrous Papilla, which, much like the Cucosaur, has different behavior in Abyss versus in Overworld, and starts up with its shield. Unlike the Cucosaur, that has a specific elemental shield, the Papilla has a weird, different shield mechanic that I'll get into a bit more later. But for now, what you need to know is that the shield for the Papilla has different mechanics. Like, it functions differently from the Cucosaur shield. So the sort of stuff that's good at breaking it can be different than normal elemental shield. And then finally, Chamber 3, because honestly, we didn't have enough annoying shield building / elemental application restrictions. You have the Golden Wolf Lord, which heavily incentivizes you having a Geo unit to break the skulls when it phases. And you have the Aeonblight Drake, which heavily incentivizes having a bow user so you can shoot it down. Because of those restrictions on Chambers 2 and 3, not only is it harder to do a full run-through because you need to have a team that can fulfill the restrictions for Chambers 2 and 3, and that still has enough DPS for Chamber 1, but also, if you don't have the units that are good at dealing with those restrictions, you might end up not having a good way to deal with them, and just straight up not being able to get all of your stars on these chambers. Now, does that mean that, like, you specifically need to have the units that are the best at it? No. There are a few units that I'll get into later, don't worry about that, that are, like, maybe, for some of you surprisingly, good at dealing with these things, and 4-star only clears are still doable. Although, for the very first time since I started doing 4-star only clears in Abyss, I haven't been able to do a continuous full-star clear. The artifact quality that I have on my account is relatively average. Like, I have some good pieces, but in terms of, like, compared to what you guys watching might have, My artifact quality is honestly nothing all that great, because I don't buy Battle Pass, I don't buy Welkin, I don't do any resin refreshes, and as it turns out, you get a lot of Mora and books and stuff from Battle Pass. So if you're like me and you pull for most characters, and you end up actually getting them to level 90, and you don't have Battle Pass, there's really not that much resin left for farming artifacts. And so my artifact quality as a whole is honestly not that amazing. And then on top of that, I'm also not the best player. I understand the way the game works relatively well, but mechanically I'm not particularly good. And so those two things combined have made it so that I haven't actually been able to do a continuous clear with max stars. I have still been able to do a clear with max star with only 4-star characters, but I had to swap my teams around for Chamber 1 versus Chambers 2 and 3. And this is the first time that that's happened, so I think it's a very good indicator of difficulty increase. Right, obviously, I'm not out here trying to claim that I'm an amazing player, and if I struggle, you'll struggle too, but I have consistently been able to do 4-star only clears without having to swap teams for the Chambers before this Abyss, and with this Abyss, I haven't managed it. So I do think this is, at the very least, enough to show that for like, depending on what you have on your account, this is very possibly going to be the hardest Abyss we've ever had. So, before we get any further into explanations on what's good and what's not, let's take a look at some of the data from the submissions that I've received. So, for those of you that weren't aware, starting like 2 patches ago or something, I've been collecting submissions for clears from my community. So if you want to participate, all you got to do is record your clear, cut out whatever non-gameplay you have, and submit it. Along with your builds. We didn't quite get as many submissions for this Abyss as the last Abyss, which I understand because this Abyss has been a massive pain in the ass, and I also have been doing Abyss runs a lot less in this Abyss. But we still have enough to get a good idea for what the people in my community tend to perceive as the good units in this Abyss. Now, keep in mind, just because a unit is popular in my community is not necessarily either an indicator of them being stronger than others, or an indicator of them being popular as a whole, right? At the end of the day, if you're someone who watches my videos often, your perception of the game will be somewhat impacted by my own, and so there's gonna be a bit of confirmation bias for sure. Just stay aware of that. But it's still interesting to see the sort of units that you guys prefer playing. So, what have we got? The unit that's seen the most play is a Farina, which is very, very unsurprising. Farina's summons, like with her skill, can easily target the Kugasaur Tyrant even while it's flying, so you don't even need to deal with the mechanics for shooting it down. On top of that, Farina is a very versatile unit that can fit in a lot of different teams, which means that being forced to bring Farina to deal with this shield isn't much of a downside if you have her. As such, Farina has seen quite a lot of play in this Abyss. Shilonen also has seen quite a lot of play. I think she's the second most popular for you guys, which also very unsurprising because Shilonen is very good at dealing with the Golden Wolf Lord. Shilonen is not the unit that can deal with the Golden Wolf Lord the fastest. However, she is the most versatile Geo unit that doesn't struggle with it. To some extent, Zhongli is also quite good at it, but Xiaonan tends to be a unit that fits in teams more easily than Zhongli does. On top of that, unlike animal units, she's not reliant on getting a pyrocrystallize in order to get her shred, right? You won't be able to get the cinders, or sorry, if you're playing a team that isn't pyro, you're not reliant on getting a crystallize of that element to get your shred. Right, so for example, if you're playing an electro carry with Xiaonan, you'll still get the 36% electro shred, even if you don't get the 40 damage percent from Cinder City, right? Because you'll get it for Geo and Pyro, but you won't get it for electro. But you'll still get your shred, unlike with the animal units where you won't get your shred. And the shred is a bigger deal than the damage. Other very popular units. Yelan. Yelan sees a decent amount of play on both sides. On the first side, she's a Hydra unit with pretty decent app, which is good for the Kukusaur. And on the second side, she's a bow user that fulfills a team's requirement for Hydro application if they need it. Which makes her quite good against the Aeon Blight Drake. So Yelan is going to see a decent amount of play. Xingqiu also sees a lot of play. Not quite as much as Yelan because obviously Aeon Blight Drake is vulnerable to the bow users. However, Xingqiu's better application and better, larger amount of hits makes him generally a little bit stronger against the Papilla, which can be a problem for some teams. Other very popular units, obviously Bennett, no surprise there. Bennett is always very popular. Fischl, who is also often very popular, but maybe a bit more so than usual in this Abyss, although I feel like I've said that for the past 3 Abysses. Fischl is just the GOAT, but anyways. But Fischl sees a lot more play on the second side than the first side, because she's a bow user, right? Which is great for the Drake. But also, C6 Fischl specifically is incredible against the Papilla. So now seems like as good a time as any to explain how the Papilla Shield works. Usually, elemental shields work with elemental application. In other words, your internal cooldown matters. If your shield has 4 units, you'll need to react the equivalent of 4 units off of that enemy. The Papilla's shield is not an elemental shield. It's a different weird thing where instead of looking at elemental application, it looks at elemental hits. What that means is that even hits that do not apply their element will help break the shield. Now, obviously, it's also more vulnerable to Night Soul than the rest, which means that the characters that will deal with the shield the fastest are the Natlan characters that enter Night Soul. However, not every team can necessarily easily have a good way of doing that. And so, characters that have a lot of hits tend to be really good at breaking the shield. Now, characters with a lot of application also often have a lot of hits. So, for example, if you look at Xingqiu, Xingqiu has a lot of fucking hits. So he's still going to be quite good. But on top of that, characters that have long ICD and weird ICD stuff, like Fischl, but still a lot of total hits, will significantly overperform compared to their performance against elemental shields. Now, Fischl is already great against elemental shields, but in this specific Abyss, because of the sheer amount of hits that she does, she is insane against the Papilla Shield. Now, I do want to make this very clear. For the very first time, I think that the difference between having C6 and not having C6 is actually enough to potentially mean that you should or shouldn't put Fischl on the team. Usually, the C6 is not that much more damage because the scaling on this is not great, and this shares ICD with her skill, so it doesn't tend to be that many more applications either. The biggest portion of the C6 tends to be the additional 2 seconds duration. However, in this Abyss, it's not about the elemental application, it's about the amount of hits. And as it turns out, this hits pretty often. And so, the C6 makes a massive difference in terms of how quickly you can break the shield. So, let me try to showcase how big that difference is. Now, obviously my account has C6 official, so I can't just show without the C6. But as long as I just don't do normal attacks, I can still show more or less the equivalent of without C6. Also, I'm an idiot. My Zhongli pillar is gonna... Okay, no, it doesn't hit. Nice. Oh, no, it's gonna hit. Well, whatever. Anyways. As you can see, right? The shield goes up every time Oz hits. And we have the Zhongli pillar that's kind of fucking over-testing a little bit, but whatever. And so we get about a third, even with Zhongli's shield, of the shields out of the way. That's not out of range. That's great. And I believe the shield in Abyss is much larger than the shield in Overworld. So this doesn't mean a third of the one in Abyss. This is a third of this one. Enter Abyss. It's on Chamber 2, so I'm not doing that. Sorry. We'll put the pillar in the same place. Anyways, now let's compare it to what happens if we use a normal attack. And honestly, I think the difference is pretty obvious. It's a very sizable difference. And it's very noticeable. It is somewhat unfortunate, obviously, because not everyone has C6. But it is something that I think is pretty important to mention. Anyways, other popular characters include Xiangling. No surprise there. Xiangling's always pretty popular. Zhongli. Also not much of a surprise there. Zhongli tends to be fairly popular, but then on top of that, this Abyss has the Wolf Lord, against which Zhongli is quite good. Now, unlike a lot of other Geo characters, the way to deal with the Wolf Lord with Zhongli is a little bit more finicky.
빨리 해결하자.
모든 높은 자를 내려볼지어다.
Alright, that should be enough. Let's just grab some energy. Alright, So unlike a lot of other Geo characters, the way to deal with the shield is a little weird. What you have to remember is that the initial cast of Zhongli's pillar can do 2/3 of the skull's shield. And then the first application of resonance will do the last third. Or, sorry, the second hit of the resonance will do the last third. So, what you want to do is you want to position yourself so that the pillar is close enough to the skull to hit it with the initial hit, but far enough that it won't overlap the hitboxes and despawn. So, best way to do that is to start walking into it and summon it on the other side like that. And as you can see, it despawns pretty quickly. Usually, it'll be gone by the time you get to the next one. I have C1, so I can't show it without C1, but the C1 doesn't actually matter because by the time you're doing the next one, it's already gone. You gotta be careful if you put it too far. If you put it too far, you won't get the initial hit, and if you put it too close, it'll disappear and you'll have to wait for the next one. We can also show how you do it quickly with Shilonen. What the fuck? I think he's a bit confused. He might have bugged out on his attack, so I'll do this. But yeah, with Shilonen, all of the hits that can apply Geo, will do 1/3. What that means is that if you use your E, it does 1/3. Then your first attack does 1/3, and then your fourth attack will do 1/3. But obviously, the time between the first and the fourth attack is relatively long. However, if you do your stuff properly, you can make it so that, well, you only need the first attack, and then you can move on to the next one, right? Because you can just start off with your burst. If you start out with your burst, that does 1, like 1/3. Then E is the second third, and then N1 is the next third, and then you can already start running to the next... Oh, well, I got hit because I was fucking yapping, but you get the idea. We do this to simulate me having hit it with the burst. We'll show it again. Once you start with a burst, then you E N1. And then you can start moving towards the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 1. And you break 2 of them in 1 skill. And then you can go to the next skill and break it down. And then you got your down. Okay, business. Yes, that's the default way of doing it with Shilonen. Shilonen's burst doesn't tend to be an important part of your rotation, so make sure you have your burst. Make sure you have your burst available as the Wolf Lord shields up, because if you don't, you can't generate energy on the skulls, so you just won't get it. Anyways, what else? Kazuha is still somewhat popular, but a lot less popular than usual, because obviously the restrictions are kind of rough, and tend to limit the sort of teams you can play. But he's still popular enough. Kuki, relatively popular, no surprise there. Nahida, quite popular as well. Neuvillette, still one of the most popular carries. Chevreuse, fairly popular on the second side. I'd say that the main reason for that is because Fischl at C6 is pretty good here. And then on top of that, Clorinde is also very good at breaking the papilla. She also has a lot of hits, right? She does 3 attacks, and then when she uses her skills, that also hits 3 times. So she shreds the papilla shield pretty quickly. Navia, relatively popular, no usage on the second side whatsoever. It's not actually because she's bad on the second side, although Navia teams maybe might struggle with the papilla because they don't tend to play the units that are good against it all that much. But it's mostly just because Wolf Lord is on the first side, so I wouldn't use Navia on the first side. But yeah, that's the I guess the main ones that are particularly popular in this abyss. But we can now talk about, like, I guess the sort of archetypes that work well and why they do. So, like, honestly, I think it's really, really reasonable for this abyss to do it through multiple, get your stars through multiple runs. Because the restrictions are really rough, and the DPS check on Chamber 1 is also really rough. There are some teams that will be able to get through it, to breeze through it. Like, namely, Neuvillette teams, as usual, pretty much breeze through the first side. Right? If you have Farina and Neuvillette, not only can you breeze through the Avatars of Lava because you vape them, so even if you lose out on some of your buffs through, like, your swirls or your Cinder City, you kind of make up for that with the vapes you gain. And Neuvillette is really good at consolidating his AoE, which tends to be the hardest part of the third wave, because the beasts move a lot. They move a lot. And then obviously, Hydro against the Cucusaur goes really well, and Neuvillette pretty easily can slot in Geo units, and if anything, his best team has Geo units. So he's always good in Abyss, but he's, like, particularly good in this Abyss, because the restrictions are good for him. And honestly, there really isn't that much else that is, like particularly good in this Abyss. There is one other team that I've played that has maybe not felt quite as good as the Neuvillette stuff, but, like, almost. And that has been Hyperbloom. And yeah, I mean, it's also not much of a surprise there. Hyperbloom is always pretty fucking good. But yeah, Hyperbloom is really good in this Abyss. I think the release of really strong carries lately has made people forget about Hyperbloom a lot. And I think at this point, Hyperbloom fell into being a bit underrated. It's still really damn good. And it's still really, really damn easy to play. So if you have a Hyperbloom team, that is definitely a very reasonable option. Honestly, for either side. First or second side. Hyperloom teams have Hydro units to deal with this. They have such fast such fast hits that you can deal with the Wolf Lord stuff even if you don't have Geo, which I guess I should explain. Technically, the Papilla is not the first enemy that has shields that look at elemental hits, not elemental applications. Because the Wolf Lord Skulls are actually also like that. The way that the Wolf Lord Skulls work is that they do take... Like, they're like the Papilla Shield, where it's just elemental hits, but then on top of that, if you also have an elemental application of Geo specifically, it does a lot more. That's why if you have a Geo unit, that's what you should use. However, if you don't have a Geo unit, you can still break the skulls. And what's going to be good at breaking the skulls is... What's going to be good at breaking the skulls is anything that hits really quickly. But as it turns out, Catalyst users, Official, if you have C6, Singto, Yelan, basically, units you fucking play in your Hyperbloom teams pretty much give you that. They give you that, and they let you clear that sort of stuff pretty quickly. So, let's show a Hyperbloom team. We'll show with Kuki. Kuki's actually better than Raiden at this specific stuff because... Raiden's elemental hits are... You too. Because Raiden's elemental hits are... I can't be bothered building her. We're not looking at the damage anyways. Because Raiden's elemental hits are reliant on you dealing damage, so it won't work on the... It won't work on the skulls that you can't deal damage to. Don't know how that happened, but whatever. Alright, should be good enough. So even without Geo, oops, I'm an idiot. Then the last one is going to be slower because our bursts have expired. But we can still use Singto's orbitals for this because they also count as elemental hits. Yeah, last one is a bit slower, but not so slow that it's that much of an issue. And we're done. And we can do our good old stuff right here. Relatively straightforward, but it is what it is. On top of that, Hyperloom teams are teams that are very, very functional, even with only 3 units. And that means that you can replace one of those 2 Hydro slots with Official, which has even more hits if you have her at C6, which is going to make these down periods even easier. Or with just a Geo unit. You can use a character like Ning. You can put Ning on, like, pretty much anything. And then on top of that, because the Abyss Blessing gives you some true damage every few seconds, yeah, as long as you have a shield, triggering Crystallize on enemies is actually going to give you a little bit more damage. Now, it's not a lot, so don't go into it expecting an insane amount of damage for this, but it's not completely worthless either. It's a nice little bonus. Anyways, Hyperloom teams, very good. They obviously don't have the perfect matchup because they don't by default have a Geo unit against the Wolf Lord, but it's still a very decent one, and they're really good against all the other enemies. Other than that, Klein and Fischl are really good against the Papilla, but this fucking bozo, this loser, this annoying motherfucker is Electro, so he has additional Electro resistance. So if you wanted to play Fischl, because Fischl is great against the Papilla and great against the Drake, fuck you, actually. For trying to enjoy yourself. And that's one of the many reasons why I think it's completely reasonable to do it throughout multiple clears. And swap your teams, like change your teams around for chamber 1 versus the rest. It's still very clearable with an Electro character. We will talk a little bit more about Primo Zajef strategies later on when we get into showing gameplay. And because there's some RNG involved in the Primo Zajef attack patterns, I think for the first side I'll just use a brain dead team to get through it, because God is the first side annoying. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have that much to say about any particular archetypes. It's just an annoying abyss. Oh yeah, burning is quite good against the Papilla, but burning isn't really a thing outside of Kinich, and Kinich is already a Night Soul character, so the Papilla is not a problem to begin with. But I guess you can use burning instead of like a Monopyro team, or rather you can put a Dendro unit in your Monopyro team if you're struggling with a shield. I was watching, was it a Jamie video? Or was it, was it Jamie or TG? It was Jamie, right? I was watching a video where Jamie was doing some viewer abyss. And the account on which he was playing didn't have Fischl C6. And so he wasn't able to break the shield in time with an Arlecchino team if he was using ChesseBurgers Fischl. And so because of that, he ended up changing that ChesseBurgers Fischl to, I think it was Kazuha Kole or something like that. And the burning that he got from Kole was enough to break the Papilla shield, which made the chamber clearable. Now, you don't actually necessarily need to break the Papilla shield. However, its resistances are much higher if you don't. Much higher. Which is going to make your clears a lot harder. And then on top of that, it also does an attack that does a lot of damage at the end of its shield, right? It's not a shield that like stays until you break it. It's a shield that stays for a specific amount of time. And if you break it in time, it'll shred its resistances. If you don't break it in time, the Papilla will do an attack that does a lot of damage to you, and that applies you with a debuff where you take a lot of damage after like 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. So iframing that is like really important. In any case, it's time to do a clear and talk about the strategies you can use to make your clears easier. Like I said, because we're gonna have a lot of things to say about second chamber stuff, I honestly can't be bothered playing a team that isn't Neuvillette on the first side, so I can just get this shit over with and focus on the second side strategies. Because we're probably gonna have to reset a bunch to show all the things I want to say. And then second side, let's do Arlecchino. Fuck it. Yeah, how original. Neuvillette Arlecchino. Holy. Okay, so first wave of the first chamber is the 2 avatars of lava. Now, you have 2 options. You can either just walk towards them and start hitting them, or you can run away to try to group them. Now, their attack patterns have some RNG sprinkled in, but the main attack to keep in mind is the one where they go underground and then come back up somewhere else. If you're close to them, the place where they come back up is kind of just random, and it can be really far away from you. And when they do that, it's really annoying. It ungroups them a lot, and sucks to be you, honestly. However, if you're relatively far from them, in my experience, it seems like they're almost guaranteed to come back up where you are. What that means is that if you go towards them, and you get unlucky and they do their attack that ungroups them, and I think they generally don't do it as their first attack. Okay, so here we got lucky. Okay, we got lucky twice. What's going on here? That's not... Maybe when you're not hitting them, they don't ungroup. I don't... whatever, let's just... Hey, why are they being so nice? They're never this nice. Okay, so he goes over there. This is the average Abyss experience. Whenever you want to try to show an annoying mechanic, they don't do it. And when you're just playing normally, they do it every time. Anyways, whatever. You saw that it went relatively away. If they both do it at the same time, it's really annoying. You can still somewhat regroup them, because after they do that attack, if they're far away from you, they'll like waddle towards you. So you can go like hide behind the other one. Like with the attack buff, true. However, the most reliable way to group them is to start off by running away a little bit. They'll walk in range and then they'll do their... Oh my god. They can also... Well, yeah. They'll do this and they'll end up being grouped really close to one another like this. Anyways. You get the idea. Let's move on to the next wave. Second wave spawns in the middle, and it's the air mines. So they spawn next to one another like this, and they will summon their beast. Now, if you can't kill the beast very quickly, you should try to stick to the Dendro one, because the Pyro one will teleport towards you after a little bit. They can teleport away from you. The Dendro one can teleport away from you as well, which can be very annoying, as you can see. If you can't kill the beasts at all, or like before they do their teleport attack, it's gonna be hard to keep them grouped. But generally, you're able to kill at least one of the beasts in time, and if you do, then either the Dendro one will teleport away onto where the Pyro one is, or the Pyro one will teleport towards where the Dendro one is. Keep in mind, if you have abilities that can set up stuff without the enemy already being there, you can start your setup before they teleport, like what I just did there with Farina's skill and burst and John Lee's shield. Oops. Yeah. And you deal with this. If you can, targeting the beasts first is better. Because once you break the beast, not only do the air mites take a lot of damage, they also lose some resistances. And then finally, you've got the Consecrated Beast, the bane of my existence and everyone else's, honestly. These guys are very annoying. I've talked about the attack patterns for both the Crocodile and the Bird before. But the main thing to remember is, as a general rule, the bird will stick to you more than the crocodile. So you should try to stay close to the crocodile rather than close to the bird. If possible, being close to the wall also means that they'll move less. As long as you keep those things in mind, you should be able to somewhat manipulate their RNG favorably. Now, obviously, Abyss, these guys also have that mechanic where if you take a while to kill them, they'll do their special attack. And once they do their special attack, they'll spawn like a crystal thingy, whatever, that you can break. Either in one hit if you attack them with their element. So, for example, I'll be able to break the crocodile's one in one hit because I'm Hydro. Or with a bunch of elemental hits, if it's a different element. So here, you can break it with a bunch of elemental hits. And after that, the next attack you do against them will knock them down and break their resistances and deal some damage. Next up, oh boy. Alright, first wave is very straightforward. It's two Geovishops. If you're close to them, they generally won't do the jump attack. Whereas if you're far, they generally will. So if you want to keep them grouped, you should generally try to either start far or start close to both of them. Because they're immune to knockback while they're doing their jump attack, and there's a lot of end lag to the jump attack animation, so they stay immune to knockback for a while. In a team like this, that's an overload team, baiting them to do the jump attack as their first attack tends to be the best thing you can do. It's a bit difficult to do reliably, but so here, I only got it on one of them. Whatever. But as you can see, right, this one doesn't get knocked back until the animation is over. Then you've got this loser. Primo of Juvishop is fairly straightforward. One thing to keep in mind here is that there is a chance that he does the attack as one of his first two attacks. If he does it, he didn't, so we're gonna have to reset to show it. Amazing. Okay, no, he did. Alright. If he does it, let yourself get hit by it and then hide behind him. Then he's gonna do the spinny attack, and that's gonna spawn an electro crystal that you can use to reflect this primordial shower, which deals damage to him and shreds his resistances. This is the best way of trying to cheat out more damage, and by far the best way of making this not too bad if you're using an electro carry like Climb, for example. This may not be necessary, you might have the damage to kill him without needing to do this, but it is very helpful. Yeah, on top of that, getting a crystallized, or getting shielded by crystallized shields can help you with a little bit because of the Abyss Blessing. In any case, let's move on to the next chamber. Here, because I'm playing Nevilette, I know I'm not gonna struggle to kill them the beasts before they teleport, so I don't really need to focus too much on that. I didn't get the right ones. Here, I'll try to get the double jump properly. It's harder if they get staggered at the start, so I'll try to not stagger them. There we go. They also stop being vulnerable to knockback when they start their like shield up animation like that. But yeah, so there we managed, even though we're playing an overload team, we managed to kill both of them in one rotation without having them get knocked back too much. But yeah, here, I'm not gonna bother giving a shit about getting hit by the... Oh, he didn't do it anyways. But yeah, so like I said, whether he does the attack is actually RNG, so you might just not get it and not have the opportunity to let yourself get hit. Oh, that's annoying. Come on. That was not ideal. Anyways, good enough. We managed to showcase the mechanics fairly well. Let's move on to the next chamber. So, next chamber is a new set of circumstances that is also a pain in the ass. So first off, I'll show what you're supposed to do if you don't have Farina. Alright? So this guy just fucking does whatever he wants at this, like he gets his shield and then he starts flying. He'll do a thing, or he starts with a like shower of hits, and then he does a blast, and the blast will leave behind a little pyro thingy that you can hit. If you hit it, he's gonna come down to the ground and stay for a little bit longer. So you want to hit it, and the other one, he spawns too. And then you can start hitting him like this while he's close to the ground. Try not to get hit by this thing. Oops. Then he does the same thing, and you want to try to break them like this. And you can get, or deal with them fairly quickly. I'll hit by it this time. And then once he falls down like this, he won't shield up for a pretty long time, and that should be enough time. You should have enough time to kill him. Obviously, you could also use Nevilet's beam, but I was just trying to show in a way that wasn't character reliant, right? As long as you have some form of hydro. Anyways, right up. Now with Farina, obviously, Farina just fucking hits him, so you break the shield incredibly quickly without having to worry about anything. And then he just dies. And then obviously, because it's a pyro shield, Nevilet gets a vape, so that's one free stack that you would usually only be able to get if you're using an animo unit and let yourself get hit by stuff. But because it's a shield, you get it for free. And pretty straightforward, kill the guy, hog. Now, Papilla. Keep in mind, you just need to fucking hit it a lot. Now, because I have Bennett C6, I personally prefer spending time on Bennett and hitting it with Bennett C6. Because it means that I don't waste my Arlecchino Bond of Life. But I know a lot of people don't activate Bennett C6, whether it's because they don't want to activate it or because they don't have it. So I'll go on Arlecchino so that the C6 doesn't really matter. Don't focus too much on dodging the attacks on the ground here. Because if you fuck up your timing and lose just a little bit of attacks, that can... Oh my god, I didn't let it cook long enough. Oops. Well, whatever. it's kind of whatever. Oops. Oh, that's the nice chill attack, and we're done. Yeah, my mark was a little undercooked there. While it's like moving around and like imitating bosses, there's a lot of attacks that make him like teleport or move in weird ways. So keep that in mind. That can be something that like he can dodge or like he knows E, for example. So make sure you're hitting your stuff properly, and as long as you can break the shield, you should be fine. Finally, Chamber 3. Wolf Lord, very straightforward enemy. He starts by like... He starts with really high resistances while he's like spawning. And after he's properly spawned, he can do one of, I think, 3 different starting attacks. He can do the attack where he starts going around the whole place like that. He can do the attack where he goes up in the air and then slams down. And he can do the attack where he goes up in the air and starts shooting skulls at you, and he shoots 3 skulls, I believe. The one that happens the most often in my experience is the one where he does a all around the arena. But yeah. He will shield up as the first attack once he's under a certain HP threshold. I'm not exactly sure how much that HP threshold is. If it's like 2/3 or half or like... but it's somewhere around there. What that means is that if you think you can kill it in one rotation, you should try to wait for one of the favorable attacks where he doesn't move too much. But you can still do like 1/4 of his HP beforehand. So, let's try to show how that works. I don't think I have the damage to kill in... Oh. I'm kind of an idiot, aren't I? There we go. But yeah, so the boo attack. Do about 1/4 of his HP. Make sure we don't damage him too much more than that. And then he's gonna do the attack where he... Fuck! That was too much. My bad. That was a little bit too much. I shouldn't have reactivated Farina's stuff. Did my E miss? I think my E missed. Yeah, my E missed. There we go. So the second attack is generally this one, where he stays down for a little bit. So if you have enough damage, you can actually potentially kill him before he shields up. I think I'm a little too low on damage here, but as long as I show the basic idea behind it, especially with characters like Moew, for example, that can do a lot of their damage in a relatively short period of time, this is very, very doable. In any case, once he's shielded up, depending on which character you are using, if you're not using a Geo character, you just hit the things with elements until they're broken. If you are using a Geo character, you do whatever their best way of breaking the thing is. I already showed how you do it with Zhongli and Chilonan before. I guess here might as well use both. I guess I should have stayed on Shalon in there, but whatever. Oh. There, I did it a little I fucked it up a little, but I can just use my Zhongli Burst here. I believe Zhongli Burst one-shots hit from full HP, so you can also just use the burst if your pillar's on cooldown because you held E by accident, and then you just get it done. But yeah, keep in mind, right? He only shields up once he's done the shielding up animation, and the shielding up animation won't start until he's finished his current attack. What that means is that if he's in the middle of an attack that takes relatively long and he's not moving, like the attack where he starts shooting like that, you can effectively cheat out more time before he shields up and try to kill him before then. Finally, last chamber, very straightforward with Aeon Blight Drake. You shoot it down if you can, and then you just bash your head against it. And then you just kill it. Overall, as long as you have a way to deal with the Wolf Lord Skulls, Chamber 3 tends to be by far the easiest of the three chambers. If you don't have a good Geo character, if you're forced to fuck over your first team to slot in Geo, like if you're using Ning, for example, or if you're just using a team that doesn't have Geo, like Cloud9 Fischl or something like that, Chamber 3 can be rough, but outside of that, it tends to be the easiest of the three chambers. Both chambers 1 and 2 can have some pretty major issues, right? Chamber 1 mainly just because of the sheer amount of damage that you need, and the potential issues from the Avatars of Lava and the Consecrated Beasts. And then Chamber 2 with both Hugosaur and Pupilla's bullshit. In any case, all in all, while this is a really unpleasant abyss to play, in some ways it can still be fun. Like, if you like challenging stuff, you might end up enjoying yourself. I think the way in which it's challenging isn't particularly fun because it feels more like a character check. And I like playing a bunch of different characters, and I feel like this abyss kind of, it doesn't necessarily prevent me from doing that, but it does make it very unpleasant to do that. If you're interested in knowing what characters I used for my 4-star only clears, for chambers 2 and 3, I did, I believe, and yeah, MC's a 4-star, shut up, you know what I mean. I did this and this, I believe. And for chamber 1, I did this, I believe. If I remember correctly, that's the teams I used. Taser is surprisingly good in this chamber. Maybe not surprisingly, but is fairly good in this chamber. They tend to have very flexible rotations, so and yeah, I could also do this without much of a problem with the Taser team. It was this one that was a bit too rough. But yeah, Taser teams in general tend to have a lot of flexibility in their rotations, which makes multi-wave content feel a lot less cringe, even if the actual amount of DPS they're doing can be lower than other teams. Having more flexible rotations can mean faster clears when there's a lot of waves. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this meta roundup. All in all, fuck this Abyss. I hate it. It is not fun. I do not like it. But it is what it is. If you're looking forward to Moeka's release, she's not actually going to be all that great in this Abyss either. She has a tailored Abyss coming out in 5.3, but it won't be out like on her release. So she's kind of not going to feel the greatest for a little bit, because obviously Pyro carries against this, against this. Second side she'll be fine, but honestly, first side tends to be the harder of the two sides. But in any case, that does it for this meta roundup. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I was helpful in the strategies you can use for all the bullshit from the bosses. One thing I haven't mentioned is specifically with Molani, because Molani should be a relatively popular character on the first side. Keep in mind you can jump before doing your bite, which can be really helpful to break this shield a little bit faster. Jumping while it's shielded, you can use your skill and then jump and bite midair. But yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I don't know when exactly this video will come out. I'm recording it on the 26th. But yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube. Yeah, I'll tell the editors. But I think that might be it for today. Oh, actually, also, editors, I want to watch this as well. Don't put the video in the, like, don't put this in the video, but it might be worth to put a link to this video in the description. Depending on how it goes. Oh my god, that's way too loud. I'll mute. Furu my goat. Is that a Linny weapon on Farazan? Yeah, it is. What's the second side? Okay, it's the Amber team. Of course it's the Amber team. Wait, with Rosaria? Why Rosaria? Did Furu get tired of Chongyun? Probably more hits for the papilla? Ah, that might be it. Yeah, actually, that might be it. You're right. Holy. Damn. Candace, my goat. Holy. Holy fucking jeez. Louise. My man carries the most character check abyss in a while with teams most can't even overworld with? Yeah. Furu is fucking crazy, man. I'm guessing this is just gonna be a normal clear. aware. Yeah, this is definitely not the best, that's for sure. But it's still good enough. Not for yourself. A minute and 7 for this half. It's gonna be tight, but if anyone can do it, Farouk can do it. This is gonna be the exact right amount of Baron Bunnies, isn't it? Yeah, just barely. Just fucking barely. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that is omega close. Oh, I wonder how many resets that took, man. Holy fuck. Had to fish for better cards? Yeah. Holy. Holy. Absolute cinema. True. Bro's been the GOAT for a while, yeah. Ugh. All right, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed your stay. I hope you had a good, enjoyable time, a pleasant experience in today's stream. Ugh. Let's raid. Have I ever raided Tula before? I don't think so.
Arlecchino. Hold on, we might play Arlie. Yeah, we're probably gonna play Arlecchino. Do you have a Glad? You need 2 Glad pieces.
Alright, everyone go say balls. Whoa, what the white guys, get him out of here. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, today is a clearing day. It's farming day, I guess. Okay, what is